Welcome to Inderes TV and Oriola Q3 interview. We have here today CEO Katarina Gabrielson from Oriola. Welcome.
Thank you.
So, at least to me, the Q3 went quite well for you. How does that go? How did that go from your perspective, and what are the main takeaways from the quarter?
But I agree with you. I think from my perspective, we had a good quarter in the group, and we improved the comparable adjusted EBIT to 13.5 million euros. That was 30% higher than 2021. And we can see really that the improvement was driven by efficiency and cost savings actions related to the initiatives that we have done during the year, the turnaround initiatives. And we have also had good market demand in the both markets. And in addition, we can see that our balance sheet has strengthened during this quarter and also throughout the whole year. And that's because of better cash flow and also the increased results. We can see that the market demand was good and above the levels for 2019. And why I say 2019, that is, of course, since it was before COVID pandemic. But we can see also that now in Q3 it has returned to a little bit more normal level in the second, compared to the first and second quarter. Because in the beginning of the year we saw abnormal hoarding of medicines, mainly due then to Russia going into Ukraine. It can be good also to note that the raw material supply for medical products has been tighter during the third quarter, because of the COVID-19 restrictions that is still quite much ongoing in China. And this has affected availability of medicines in both Sweden and Finland. But so there is a little bit if and buts, but I will say I'm really happy about the quarter.
Yeah. In the Swedish pharmacy business, which is now the last quarter in your books basically, but you showed their negative growth figures in euros and also weaker than market growth if we look at Swedish crowns. So what is the reason for that?
For that is in fact that we have last year we had more pharmacies than we had this year. So we have closed some of the physical pharmacies in this aspect. And that is then not apple to apples that we compare. But we can also see that when it comes to the e-commerce side, we have in fact growing better than the market on that side. So it's not completely apples to apples comparison.
Yeah, okay, good. You mentioned some availability issues in the pharmacies or the medicine side, but how have you seen overall the impacts from the macro environment or the kind of cost inflation? How has that hit you, and what have you done to mitigate that?
You can see that the consumer confidence overall, and that's not only in our business, but overall in the market, is weakening since we have this all-time high inflation. I will say it's not fully visible yet in consumer behavior, and I think this will affect the consumer spending also in the long run, and it can also have an impact on Oriola in the future. We can also see that energy and fuel prices and also labor costs are increasing. And of course, it's really, really hard to say what will happen with that in the future, like for everyone. And then, of course, we also have even if we don't think so much about COVID still, it's still a potential impact from that in the end of this year and maybe next year. We don't know. It's a little bit uncertain in that one. And how will that then impact our business and the societies in general? Will there be more close downs, for example?
Yeah. Regarding the direct cost impact to your business, would you say that those are already visible now, or are you expecting kind of more inflationary cost pressure in the coming quarters?
I lost you a little bit in the beginning, so can you please repeat yourself again?
Yeah. So regarding the direct cost inflation to your business, would you say that you have seen that already now in Q2, Q3, or would you expect kind of more inflationary pressure in the coming quarters?
I will say that we are of course not immune to this higher prices that's coming overall, and we try to mitigate the effect with normal actions in logistics and warehousing business, including then pricing discussions and negotiations, of course, with both customers and partners and also then suppliers. And you can say so far we have been successful in improving the pricing in the services and products that we have. And we need to continue that work like everyone needs to do.
Yeah. And still generally, how would you say, how does the outlook look for your business? I know you have the positive guidance, but you have already improved quite a lot during the first 9 months. So what's the outlook in
same outlook now
verbal terms?
Yeah, as we then announced in the 3rd of October. So we are expected adjusted EBIT to be in the continuing operations then to increase from 2021 level. But then, of course, if you look for a longer period, the recent overall inflation increase and related and cost pressure that we have, that might have an impact then on Oriola's profitability for the future. But that's nothing that we are then like taking. Of course, we're taking it into it, but we are standing with the outlook that we have at this point.
Yeah, good. And then you just announced an investor day about in a month. So what should we expect from that event from your side?
That event is, of course, quite much about now looking into like what will we do for the coming period. So it will be insights on the progressing of the transformation and towards then a pharmaceutical infrastructure and healthcare distribution company. And we will not go into details at this point, like exactly what we will take into the event, but that will be like one of the main themes as I see it. Yeah.
Should we also expect an update on the financial targets now when the group structure has changed, or can you say anything about that?
I will not say something on that now because that of course depends on like all the approvals we have from boards and other things. So, but the financial outlook as we have at this point, that's still there. So it's like.
All right, great. We'll wait for a month then, and let's see what you will announce then in the investor day. Thank you very much for this, Katarina.